Hi guys, how's everyone doing? I'm Dr. Hans Bayer, here at the Tattoo Clinic Achromatic in Freiburg, Germany, and this is the third of our webinar series that we'll be doing about the treatment with the PicoStar from Asclepion, the most advanced pico laser out there. The PicoStar is working with 300 picoseconds and a maximum output of 2.6 gigawatt. This is unreached, and due to that, it's my pleasure today to introduce to you a novel kind of laser peeling that, as you will see later on, is not only causing a dermal remodeling, but we can also, for the first time, target the sebaceous glands with the help of a pico laser. If we look into the history of peeling, the history of laser peeling, I find it always interesting to look back into the medical history. And the history of peeling itself is the first records that we know are from ancient Egypt. And notorious Princess Cleopatra has always been taking baths in sour milk and therefore using the lactic acid within the sour milk to get a tightening and a remodeling of her skin. And the first papyrus that describes this are the Ebers papyrus from 1515 before Christ. But today, of course, we'll be talking about the changes in the aging skin and what we can do with the laser to prevent these. Typical changes in aging skin are the skin gets thinner, not only the epidermal layer, but also the dermal layer. We get a solar elastosis, we get a sagging of skin, and of course, wrinkles in area not only of facial expression, but well, all over. Loss of subcutaneous fat and loss of bony structures, of course, as well, but these are points that we cannot reach with the laser treatment. We will be covering these in hopefully another webinar. So if we're talking about the history of laser peeling, I took this picture from the publication from Dieter Manstein and Rox Anderson when they first described the fractional photothermolysis. I would say laser peeling can be strongly subdivided into three groups. We have the ablative resurfacing, we have the non-ablative resurfacing, and the fractional resurfacing. Ablative resurfacing definitely has been the golden standard up way until the beginning of the 2000s, where we use either a CO2 or an erbium YAG laser. These are then ablative lasers because they are absorbed by water and cause the water to vaporize and therefore vaporize whole tissues. Here I have one picture for you of an ablative treatment that has been performed with the erbium YAG. You see the periorbital wrinkles, some real nice results. What I like about the erbium YAG is that it's got this high security profile. You almost can't go wrong with the erbium YAG, which makes it so safe and easy in the application. But of course, with these ablative laser systems, there's always been this high risk of side effects. And when I started working in dermatology, like 16 years ago, then we were still working with the CO2 ablative, and we saw a few cases of these persistent erythemas, of this marmorized skin, or even scar formation. So it was in the early 2000s that these two gentlemen, it's Dieter Manstein from Germany and Rox Anderson, that we heard so much from in the other webinars. He did so much for the lasers. These two had this perfect idea that they said, hey, instead of doing a regular ablative therapy where we remove the whole epidermal layer and cause some serious heat damage to the dermal layer and have this high chance of side effects, why not do a fractional treatment, meaning that we are using on a small area, we use a whole array of microscopic small defects, ablative zones in the skin, and so do a fractional ablative treatment. As you can see in the picture, that's the ablation fractionated, and therefore of course we could reduce the downtime and also reduce the side effects. But of course it's not as powerful as a full resurfacing. The downside on all these treatments was that it was still not easy to treat Asian skin, darker skin types because of the side effects. Then the non-ablative skin resurfacing like IPL or with neodymium YAG came into the game. Like with IPL, it's like that. We use a laser system, as you can see in this animation, and it's a broad array of light rays. So it's not like in the laser, a single wavelength. No, it's a broad array. Then we target different chromophores like melanin, like hemoglobin, also causing resurfacing or remodeling is the better term, a remodeling of the skin. But again, in Asian skin they were not so good to use because of a high risk of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentations and limited efficacy overall in patients. So the game changer was when this non-ablative fractional pico laser peeling was described for the first time. The few studies that are out there, they have all been working with Asian patients, so a group of patients that is prone to complications like the hyperpigmentations, as I mentioned before. And the use of these lasers has been described in laceration scars, but quite a lot as well also in acne scars. The technique that's behind it is that you use a large handpiece. It's somewhere between 8, and we will be getting one for the PicoStar with a diameter of 12 millimeters. And then with that laser we cause a laser-induced optical breakdown within the skin. What is this laser-induced optical breakdown? Let's have a look at this histological slide. And you see these vacuoles not only in the dermal layer, but if you watch closely you also can see a few in the epidermal layer as a sign of the pico laser causing these dermal damage zones, like compared to the fractional laser, but without harming the superficial epidermis. So that's the laser-induced optical breakdown. And let's have a look at some patients that have been treated, especially with atrophic acne scars. Each of these patients received 3 treatments. I think the results are outstanding with the dermal remodeling that has been caused with the optical breakdown and how the skin quality improved, and patients not only said that their scars got better, but also the overall skin quality, the skin tightness, and also the coloration of skin. And last, before we get to the treatment, is the last advancement that was then performed was, as you all know, the Hollywood peel. What is the Hollywood peel? We take a carbonated paste, put it on the skin, and do then our laser peeling treatment. The thoughts behind of that is that we get an additional heating, therefore an additional dermal remodeling, but also the idea was that the black color will dissolve into the sebaceous gland and therefore also attack the sebaceous gland, reduce the sebum, and therefore cause a quicker or an additional effect in reducing the sebum. And what we've done then was that we thought, why not try this with our PicoStar, because it has such a quick laser beam with 300 picosections, high output. Maybe we can do this without even having to use the carbonated cream. And in our next live treatment I will show you how this is done. See you in a few. Hi everyone, welcome back. As I just said before, with these laser peelings, the first studies that were performed were always with these fractionated handpieces with a large diameter. The carbon peeling, that can also be done with a regular system, but of course also with the Pico system. What makes the laser peeling with the PicoStar so outstanding and special is that we are using the regular handpiece and not a fractionated handpiece. We take our regular handpiece, the 5mm spot size, and as you will see, we're not only causing this dermal remodeling that you see as a a light reddish discoloration of the skin, but we can also target the sebum and we don't need a black paste for it. The mechanism of action I will get into later. First we will be doing the treatment. First let's take a look at the glands, at the parameters that we're using. We're using the 5mm spot size, 1064, 1.5 joule and 10 Hertz. So it's really high energy that we're using. And as you will see in the treatment, it's like really selectively absorbed, causing like these small, almost like tiny explosions on the skin, causing the sebum to evaporate and initiating the dermal remodeling. Our model is again Ella, and we've been doing the lentiginous with Ella before, and that's another great feature for me with the laser peel. We're doing it the second time now, and we've always done it in combination that we first treat the solar, the sunspots, and then immediately do the laser peeling. And it's always been 100% safe. And as you can see in my previous videos, it's also safe in darker skin types, like skin type 4, 5, 6 even. So that's really, really the big thing about the laser peel. We have two actions of mechanism of action, and it's really, really safe to use in different skin types. Of course, we always have to use a disinfection for the skin. And when we were talking before, Ella just mentioned that she, with only one treatment, she now feels that her skin is tighter, there is less wrinkles, and also I see an evener skin toning. There's no more those many solar lentiginous or reddish discoloration. The skin tone is way, way evener. Okay. Let's start treatment. I'm always using a cooling, but maybe not set it at the highest level. Just put it a bit down to a 3. We got the parameters, laser is ready. Are you ready, Ella? Ready to go? Use a slightly defocused mode of the handpiece. Slightly defocused. Okay, we'll start. And then we in a crisscross pattern. We're treating the skin. And you can nicely see the smoke evaporating. That is the sebum. And you also see, if you take a look at the spot when I'm treating, you see these small, small explosions on the skin surface and the sebum evaporating. And we can also already appreciate a slight redness of the skin. That is the dermal remodeling. That's the new collagen which is being induced. So the great thing is, not only do we reduce the oiliness of skin, but we also start the rejuvenation of the skin. One of the questions that I was asked was how many treatments one should perform. Well, in the studies that were published with fractionated Pico hand pieces, there were always 3 treatments being performed. I mean, you cannot over-treat the skin, but I also recommend 3 up to 5 treatments. Great advantage also is there's literally no downtime. The skin is like reddish for maximum 2 days. I've never seen it longer. And there's no desquamation, no peeling of skin. Okay. Fangen wir mit der Wange an. Again, you see the smoke, the vaporization of the sebum. As with the tooth, the same. I'm using an anesthetic cream before the treatment, making it way more comfortable for the patient. Achtung, die Nase, the nose. Super. And you see also the treatment is pretty quick. So, give the Lippe. Alright. Noch die Wange hier. Again, you see the smoke is always the sebum, which is being vaporized. Sehr gut. Ich glaube, wir haben es. That's it. You can see the immediate redness, of course, due to the dermal remodeling that's being initialized. And of course, the dermal remodeling takes time, up to 6 months, but we also see an immediate initial redness, skin tightening, and of course, reduction of the sebum. Okay, thank you. Hi guys, welcome back. I think as you could see, it's like really fascinating, the laser peeling, as you see the smoke of the vaporizing sebum and how secure it is. You can do a combination treatment of treating the lentiginous first and after that doing the laser peeling, or even in a patient with a skin type 5, I did 1 week, I did the laser epilation, 1 week later I did the laser peeling, no problems there. And the results are really nice. This is after one treatment with the patient in the follow-up, and you see this immediate shrinking of the pores that this patient had, and especially these pores, they're of a big cosmetic concern to many patients, as we know, and with the laser peel really you can help the patient with the pore size, with the sebum production, and also give them an additional skin tightening. So how does it work? I think everybody saw that it does work, and one interesting thing that I found is we take a look at the absorption curve of water and fatty acids, and we see this high peak at 1200 nanometers with 1064 with the PicoStar. We're pretty close to that. I know I'm not at the max, but we get a nice absorption in fatty acids and water and fat itself. So I think that's shows us that this helps us to target the sebum, plus the ultra short beam with the high energy helps us. And of course the dermal remodeling with the laser induced optical breakdown with the vacuoles that you see in the dermal layer. So in contrast to other methods of laser peeling, we have here two distinct mechanisms of action: the laser sebum vaporization and the laser induced optical breakdown. So let me thank you again for your attention. As always, I think the PicoStar is the gold standard out there. There's no better laser out there actual to treat tattoos, pigmentary lesions, and also the laser peeling for me is the hottest thing that's out there right now, because it really, with the targeting the sebum, it's a highly interesting target for me. Use the cooling device, do aftercare, do take care of your patients. Please do hit us up on Facebook or Achromatic. Visit our website. You have my email address. Ask us questions whenever. If you're interested in visiting our seminars, we're doing quite a lot of them, because I think it's important to share the knowledge and to optimize the treatment for our patients. And thank you very much for your attention, and hopefully on the next webinar again. Bye guys.